Thanks so much for joining us for this segment of the chat. I have Shelly Bohannon with The Bridge, and I think it's important to reiterate who you guys are, how you serve the community.
Perfect. So we are a nonprofit, and we are our main office is in Amarillo, but we serve the top 26 counties of the Texas Panhandle.
Okay.
So we serve a very large geographic area, and that's critical because our services reach a lot of children in a lot of different communities.
Absolutely.
And so what we do is we work very closely with law enforcement and Children's Protective Services. We are not part of their agencies. We just work alongside of them to assist their investigations so that they are not the ones interviewing children when they become involved with a case that involves child abuse of any kind, whether that child is the victim or a witness or a child at risk. So that child comes to see us, they sit down with us, one of our forensic interviewers, and our interviewer helps them with their statement, and it's an oral statement versus a written affidavit like we as adults would do.
Sure.
Because children as young as 2 obviously don't have those skills, so they give an oral statement, and so we help facilitate that.
Yeah.
And so once that child gives their statement, then that is given back to those investigators because it is their tool. It is the tool for their investigation, and then we basically don't see that child again,
Yeah.
right? So we refer the family out for services, we help connect them, and then we help follow up with them to make sure that they are getting those resources that they need. So we help that family just reconnect and then come back to what is normal for that family, and
Yes.
hopefully we find a better, healthier space that's for them.
You know, like essentially you guys are the bridge.
We are the bridge between
Yes.
all of these professional agencies, because navigating and walking through the judicial system, whether it's the criminal side or the civil side, is scary and it's hard.
Yeah.
And trying to navigate the resources in Amarillo is challenging, because that's a good thing, because Amarillo is so blessed with so many different resources. But how do you navigate that when you need it, when your family's in crisis? And so we are there, we have staff that are there to help families do that. And so that is really what our secondary, primary goal is. That sounds really weird, secondary, primary.
Yeah, but no, you have to
is-
have a lot of those goals,
Yes,
you know?
because our primary goal for the child is that forensic interview.
Yes.
Our primary goal for the parents is
the
resources
resources.
and those kinds of things. So along those lines, when that child is there, if it's a sexual assault allegation, we also provide a space for a forensic medical exam.
Yeah.
While that's not our job, it's not us that does that. We provide a space for the sexual assault nurse examiners to come in and do that. So we are providing a space for the whole team to come and work. And we are not Northwest, we are not Amarillo Police Department, we're not, but we're
You're
just,
your own entity.
we are our own entity, and we're just creating a space.
Yes, and speaking of creating a space, you guys have announced your capital campaign.
We have,
which
yes.
is essentially going to be a bigger space for you guys.
Yes, it
Tell
is.
us a little bit about that and just what your timeline is.
Yes, so very exciting,
Yes,
capital campaign.
absolutely.
So we have identified a lot of needs that our community is in desperate need of. One of which is expanded mental health services, as became very apparent during COVID, right?
Sure.
That was a huge thing that was identified. So we have drafted up a floor plan, and funding we've been blessed. We've so blessed. 74% of our budget has been raised.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So we're getting there. We still
Yeah.
have a lot to do, and so we're looking to our community to help us get to the end.
Yes.
So 74%, we have 26% still to go.
Wow.
So this is going to impact all 26 counties.
Yeah.
It's a 34,000 square foot building.
Wow.
That's going to increase our forensic interview services to allow us to serve more children at the same time, because what we are seeing are larger families.
Yeah.
bigger sibling groups so we can serve those siblings at the same time so that the family's not waiting so long, right? Children become exhausted, they're tired, they get fussy, and so we lose integrity of their interviews. But we're also expanding our medical services so that children are not having to bounce around to different places. So
It'll all be right there.
all right there.
Okay.
And so hopefully they don't have to go to Northwest or Texas Tech or what. So hopefully we're going to be able to bring some of those services within our building.
Wow.
Again,
That's
not
fabulous.
us.
Yes.
We're just going to have that space, right? So we're working on some letters of affiliation with some different medical agencies to be able to help us do that. Our SANE nurses, we're going to, our sexual assault nurse examiners, really give those nurses the tools to be able to do some very in-depth exams for children that will increase the services that these kiddos need, to increase prosecution if that's where we're going, or you know what, if something didn't happen, we need to be able to prove that as well.
Yeah.
So, right, so really be able to provide that best service. We're going to increase that mental health. We have implemented an internship program. We are developing and cultivating therapists that are comfortable working in trauma, comfortable working with prosecutors, comfortable in the courtroom, comfortable defending what this child says.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest benefit for families is we are bringing in the Special Victims Unit from Emerald Police Department,
Oh, wow,
as well
yes.
as Children's Protective Services.
Very,
They're going
very
to be
essential.
housed in our space, and that way these investigations get started sooner, so that children and families receive their services sooner. So we're all in separate areas so that everybody can do their work independently yet collaboratively.
Yeah, like everyone coming together.
Yes. So we will be able to meet, discuss cases, so that we can say, okay, this child needs to be in earlier, this child maybe not, and be able to really triage and bring children in. Our staff can be able to offer services. We're not duplicating services. It will just free up our community resources so that they can work more efficiently, we can be more efficient, and really those children and families come back to what's healthy for them
Wow.
faster and better. And we're right close to Northwest Behavioral Health.
Yeah,
And
so then you're, again, still just right there
Yes.
with all those resources.
yes.
So how, if someone is watching this and they're like, I really want to get involved with the bridge, I want to help, or I want to help you guys meet your goal of reaching that 26% left to finish your capital campaign, how can someone go about that?
Our website is just full of information. So really that is the best place to do that. And that is www.bridgecac.org.
Okay.
There's a link to our capital campaign funding. Volunteers, we are needing volunteers right now to really help us out with our mental health intern program.
Okay, yes.
Because that happens on Tuesdays. Our building right now is about 7,500 square feet.
Gotcha.
And we have a staff of 18 crammed in there.
Yeah, I was going to
Plus-
say, going
yes.
into a 34,000.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's going to be
and
huge.
we're bringing in interns. We have 5 interns. So on Tuesdays, we kick staff out of the building.
Yeah,
that
because you're like,
can.
we don't have any room.
Yes. So, so we need some volunteer help to be able to bring in all of our counseling clients with. So it's it's musical chairs.
Yeah,
on
I was going to
Tuesdays.
say.
Yes. So volunteers would be very helpful to be able to manage that.
Yes.
So there's volunteer applications on our website. So everything is on our website.
Okay.
Or just call us.
Yes.
And we can answer those questions. But there's so many wonderful things happening to come. We're
Yes.
hoping to break ground this spring.
Okay, okay.
And so that's really exciting. So things were going really slow, and now I feel like we just jumped into hyperdrive, and so it's
and
really,
now it's like, it's here. I feel like it'll be
yes.
spring before we know it.
yes.
And so, Shelly, I want to ask you this too, because we were kind of talking a little off camera. You've been doing this for a while now, and
Yes.
so I can't even imagine. Like, I know it's a tough job, on certain days, and it's hard to see that it's happening right here in our community. But what is it about, you know, the Bridge and being around all these other members and entities and resources that really care and pour into our children? What has that been like, you know, to, I don't know, kind of have you look onto things on the other side, if that makes sense? Like, what has that been like?
So being in this, so before this, I worked for DFPS.
Gotcha.
So I worked for one of our regulating agencies, a partner
Yes.
agency, and so that was a different perspective, obviously, than where I am now. And so here I get to work with so many different agencies and professionals, and to see the thought processes and the passion that they pour into their cases, and the professionalism and the dedication, but then also to see the families.
Yeah.
Right? And those kids, before I was in this position, I was a forensic interviewer for 18 years.
Wow.
And so interviewed well over 5,000 children. And I think that's, my passion has always been the children.
The children,
right?
yeah.
And so, they can be just brutally honest.
Sure,
really and
yes, they
truly.
can.
and I think that has been the best part of this job, is to be able to sit down with children and have that honor of them coming to us and being able to share with us their biggest secret or their
Yeah,
biggest trauma
biggest
or
fear.
whatever. Yes, absolutely. And parents as well. But to be able to say, there is something better and we are going to help you. Right?
Absolutely.
And, you know, because it's not always about the criminal offense, and it's not about criminal prosecution or, you know, the civil piece of that. It's really, let me help you with counseling. Let me help you with resources. Let me help your family
Yeah.
with whatever need that is.
Yes.
Because we partner with all kinds of nonprofits. We partner with snack packs. Sometimes kids just need help with some
Yep.
food security,
Basic
or they need,
necessities.
right? So what does this family need? So I think that is what keeps me engaged and coming back every day, and really just thinking outside the box of, okay, what does this family need today? What is the family in 5 years going to need?
Yeah.
And what is the family in 10 years going to need, right? And so I wish we had the crystal ball.
I know, right?
Right?
That would make everything
It
easier.
would be so much easier. But I just think it's, you know, how do we continue to set things up for those coming behind us, because that's a challenge,
Yeah.
right? But always, kids are kids are kids are kids. I don't care if it was 25 years ago or if it's today. They're struggling in the similar ways, just with different elements, whether it's technology, whether it's, you know, it's something different, but it's still the same.
Absolutely.
And so I think I love working with our partners, because they're dedicated, they are passionate, and sometimes do we butt heads? Of course we do, because we're all coming at things differently with different
Yes,
perspectives.
yes.
But that is what makes this process work.
I love that.
And so it's, I think, bringing us all into the same building
yes, that's going to be
brings meeting of the
tremendous.
minds. Yes, and so we're able to think and problem solve, and really the end goal is, how do we problem solve for the
Yeah.
best interest of children and
The
families in
kids.
26 counties? Because yes, we're bringing these agencies in with us, but we're also creating space for those agencies that may be from Lipscomb County or Dallam County to come in and work, because we know they're losing time. They could lose a whole day of work.
Yeah, because they got to travel and make
Yes.
the trip here. And
Yes, and
yeah.
so they're going to have a space to come in and plug in and sit down and be able to work, do whatever it is they need to do. Is that writing a search warrant? Is that check their email? Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not going to lose a whole day of work. So,
Absolutely.
you know, it is truly, it's going to benefit all 26 counties. So I would love to see support from all of our counties in this capital campaign, because it's going to impact every county.
Every county.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited for you guys, and I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see
Yes.
it. We're going to have to keep following up with you as
Yes.
we get closer and closer to hopefully breaking ground in the spring.
Yes.
So thank
yes.
you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This is
Of
great.
course, yes. Well, this has been another segment of the chat. And again, if you want to support the Bridge, head to our website, newschannel10.com. We'll have all the details there and how you can get plugged in. So thanks again, Shelly.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.